Update: I'm breaking up with my boyfriend of 7 years. Original post: I, 25 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 27 male, for 7 years, and I'm about to end it because of a stupid question he asked me. Like 2 days ago, we were chilling at his place, and out of nowhere, he asked me if I could ever raise someone else's child. I was confused since I'm child-free and so is he, so I said that he knows I don't even want kids of my own. He clarified that he means if I'd ever raise and accept a kid that my partner would have in an affair. Honestly, I was speechless. I don't even know what I was feeling in that moment. Anger? Confusion? I think I stayed there in silence for a few minutes before I tried to justify and say that the hypothetical child is not at fault in this situation. At that point, I was starting to get angry and asked him if he's trying to tell me something. He got mad at me and asked me how could I even assume he'd do something like this, and that it was just an innocent question. I started to feel like throwing up, so I just left his place. I haven't left my place since then. He has tried to reach out and I assume told our mutual friends about what happened, because some of them too have been reaching out and telling me to hear him out. I haven't replied to anyone. I just feel so drained and mad. He went from again trying to say that the child is innocent, to saying he's sorry, to telling me I'm overreacting and so on. I don't think I've calmed yet entirely, and maybe I will regret this when I will get back to my senses, but I decided to break up with him. I don't think I can ever fully trust him after this, even if this question was indeed innocent. He knows my family's history with cheating. He knows I lost my grandpa because he made some bad decisions after his wife cheated on him. He knows my grandma has been mistreated her entire life by a cheating man. He knows all of this, so I don't understand why he'd think it was okay to ask me this. Even if I'm in fact overreacting, this question planted some ugly thoughts into my mind that I don't think I can get rid of. And I'm gonna throw down the drain a 7-year-old pretty much perfect relationship because of a stupid question. Now for the top advice before reading the updates. Tell him you would never raise someone else's child, and that you would leave him immediately if it would ever come to a situation where he made a child in an affair, and then see his reaction. Basically, play the ball back to him and observe. I was thinking the same, but opposite. Tell him, yeah, sure, I love kids. Then wait for him to admit. Then stab him with a fork or something. Exactly, because if you say no and he did cheat, then he'll try harder to hide it. If you say yes, he might think he has a chance and you know sooner. My husband and I always love talking/asking those hypothetical questions. We love listening to each other's opinion. We laugh and sometimes argue about it and help us know each other better. But this case, I would dig deeper. He just asked you out of nowhere and tried to justify that the child is innocent. And then your mutual friends asking you to hear him out? So much red flag that this is not just an innocent question at all. Was there any signs of an affair? Talk to him before you make a decision, at least for the sake of your 7-year-long relationship. And talk to your friends too. They must know something. Throwing away a 7-year relationship because of a hypothetical question that you haven't confirmed is related to anything in reality? Opie's partner dodged a bullet. Opie never even confirmed it before deciding it was over. She must have been wanting to make this decision beforehand and didn't think she had a good enough reason, so she just took the opportunity. Now for the first update. Yes, I get it. I definitely need to work on my issues and on my temperament, but cheating is and will always be a touchy subject for me, and he knew how it triggered me, which is why I had that reaction. I'm not trying to excuse it, but I'm just explaining why. Some of you said my reaction was over the top and that I should listen to him first, and you were right. I admit I might have jumped too fast to that conclusion, and I should probably work on that. So I decided to meet him and talk. We did, and at first he denied that he ever did anything, and said he just randomly thought of that question. But in the end, he admitted that he did cheat on me. He swore that it was just a mistake, and it only happened once. But the woman he cheated on me with got pregnant and didn't want to terminate it. He said that he didn't want to lose me because of a mistake, and that he loves me more than anything, but confessed that he too wishes to raise that kid, and was hoping he could do it with me because being in a relationship with me feels so natural and comfortable to him, and he can't imagine raising a child with someone else. He confessed to his friends and they told him he should try to warm me up to the idea, and since he knew that the biggest reason why I'm child-free is my fear of being pregnant, He figured that I might agree to it because someone else was delivering the baby. He told me that he was always hoping I'd change my mind, and that while he still regrets what he did, we should view it as an opportunity. At that point, I was close to losing it, and I almost started screaming at him. I know I should probably work on that too. Then I asked him why he thought I'd agree with this, when he knows about what happened to my grandpa and grandma because of their cheating spouses. And he said that this is completely different. After that, I honestly couldn't listen to him anymore. So once again, I just left. I blocked all of our supposedly mutual friends who kept defending him, and I also blocked him. I'm devastated that our relationship is ending like this, but he did the one thing that he knew would hurt me the most, and I can't see myself ever forgiving him or accepting his child, even though he is right that the child is innocent. Maybe some of you were right when you said that he dodged a bullet, because I would have been a terrible stepmom probably. Second update. Some people ask for an update, so I guess here it is. First of all, thank you to everyone who sent me their supportive words. It really meant a lot and helped me as well. Like I said in my original post, I broke up with him. After that, I blocked him at his friends, so I tried reaching out to my friends. And he also came by my place 3 times and tried to get me to listen to him. I didn't open the door and just ignored him. After the 3rd time, my best friend and her boyfriend asked me if I'd like to live with them for a while, so maybe he'll stop bothering me. It worked. I also told my parents what happened, and they were heartbroken since our families have been friends since before both of us were born, and they considered him part of our family, but they support and understand my decision 100%. They also talked to his parents and found out that he lied to them and told them that I wanted to take a break from our relationship because I'm losing feelings for him and I want to explore my sexuality, which is not true, and I've never even once told him something like this. My parents told them the truth and they reached out and apologized for what he did and told me that they support me as well. Also, one of the friends that suggested he tries to warm me up to the idea messaged a friend of mine and he basically said that he knows he messed up and that he's terribly sorry for suggesting that in the first place and for being a bad friend to me. I told my friend to just ignore him. I guess it's nice that he acknowledged his mistake, but I just don't feel like dealing with any of them anytime soon. Honestly, I'm trying to tell myself that he's not worth it, but it still hurts, and it feels awful. I thought we were both happy together and that I was enough for him, but I guess not. So yeah, that's about it. I'm slowly getting better and I have a lot of wonderful and supportive people around me, which helps a lot. I'll stay away from relationships for a while and just focus on myself. I will also try therapy like some of you kindly or not so kindly suggested. Thank you again to the kind strangers who were being supportive. I haven't replied to anyone, but I've read them. Thank you for listening to me. Now for more comments before reading the last update. Man, the fact that he lied to his family and tried to blame you is absolutely disgusting. This dude is just manipulative. It's awesome that you cut him off. I hope you go out into the world and live your best life. Exactly. He tried to blame her for the breakup. He is scum, a cheater and a liar. She is way better off without that. Good for you. You don't need therapy. You followed your instincts. You knew something was wrong and you walked away. You did nothing wrong. Be proud that you made a move to leave. You did the right thing. Yes, she does need therapy. This relationship was from the time she was 18. It's a huge breakup that she will need to work through. Also, if she has a very strong reaction to anything about cheating, it could damage any relationship she gets into in the future. Or she could start to be overly suspicious, accusatory, and not just to herself but to others around her. She needs to work on herself, the extreme heartbreak she's feeling, and getting over the only relationship she's had as an adult. I got therapy when my high school sweetheart husband left me, in the ER. It really helped me process everything in a healthy way, and it's very validating to be told that you are reacting normally. I think it was most valuable in analyzing my relationship and realizing that it was not actually healthy, but emotionally abusive. I processed that and learned what I do actually want in a relationship, how to set and hold boundaries, and how to navigate dating as an adult for the first time at 30. Now, I have an absolutely fantastic, healthy, mutually supportive, and communicative partnership with my fiancé. I would not have recovered from my trauma as quickly or healthily without my therapist. Just don't forget to get tested. I wish you well in your healing. I'm so sorry you went through this. You deserve a happy, healthy life and relationship, and I hope you have it all in your own time. Best of luck to you. I haven't even thought about that. I will get tested as soon as possible. Thank you for the advice. Now for the last update. Hello again. Some people have asked for a few more updates, and I'll also answer some frequently asked questions. First of all, as some people suggested, I got tested for STDs and I'm clean, thankfully. Second of all, I saw some people being mean to my ex's affair partner, but I'd like to ask you all to not think badly of her. She reached out to me because she wanted to apologize and tell me her side of the story. I agreed to meet her, and she told me what happened. Basically, she and my ex met a few months ago in a club. He was there having a bachelor party thrown for one of his friends. They met there and started talking. He told her he was single and they hooked up. After that, they remained in contact and occasionally hooked up. She showed me proof, their texts, that he had been lying to her about being single and not wanting a serious relationship. She enjoyed the thing they had going on and didn't want a relationship either. So they remained hump buddies, I guess? They met around 7 months ago, and around a month ago she found out she was pregnant. She told him that she wants to keep it, and that if he doesn't want to be in the kid's life, she's okay with it, but she's keeping it. He insisted on being in the kid's life but came clean about being in a relationship with me. From then on, she told him that he needs to tell me the truth or she will tell me herself. So yeah, that's the backstory. She was really sweet and apologetic, and I really wish her and the baby nothing but the best. Hopefully the baby will take after their mother only. Now on to the questions. Why aren't we married after 7 years of dating? I already mentioned in a comment that I do not want to get married. I don't see the point in it, to be honest. I talked to him about this and he told me he is fine with it as he doesn't see the point in marriage either. Why don't we live together? We live in 2 separate places. Basically, my place is really close to my job. The job that I have required me to sometimes go there out of nowhere, but it pays really well. He is currently studying. I'm not sure what's called in English, but he's doing the studies you do after getting your master's degree, and his place is really close to his university. Neither of us were willing to give up on this advantage we had, so we decided to talk again about moving in together after he finishes his studies. One particular person has been quite nasty and said that no wonder he cheated on me, because I basically trapped him with false hope that one day we'd have a happy family. I'd like to say that I've always been open about my wishes regarding my future. He knew me and what I wanted as we've been friends before dating since our families are close. He told me 4 years that he is more than okay with what I want. I thought we were very open to each other. I've always voiced my complaints /wants/needs, and I've always encouraged him to do the same and vice versa. Like I already said, I thought our relationship was perfect. This might sound cold and witchy to some people, but even if I loved him, if I knew our views don't align, I wouldn't have committed to a 7-year-old relationship with him. I still haven't replied back to him or his friends yet, and I don't think I will. His parents are still very apologetic to me, and it kinda makes me feel bad since it's not their fault. They're extremely mad at him and stopped supporting him financially. I moved back in my place 2 days ago, and he thankfully stopped trying to reach out to me. I'm still not over it completely, as I've spent the last 7 years of my life loving him. But having a relationship, any kind of relationship, with him again is out of question. That's about it, I suppose. This will probably be the last thing I post regarding this situation. Thank you for listening to me rant, and thank you once again for the people giving me advice and being supportive. 7 months and lying about being single is not a mistake. How can you destroy all we've built together over one little mistake? That will now be my main focus in life. A constant reminder of your betrayal cost loads of money and changed our lives forever. The important thing was that she meant nothing to me, and yet she was worth jeopardizing our relationship. Friends got it right. I'm glad to see the last update to this. I'd followed the first couple in real time. I truly feel for the OP, having to see her boyfriend revealed as the trash he is. He tells the affair partner is single and starts banging her regularly and apparently without protection. Then decides to tell his girlfriend in the stupidest, most brain-dead method imaginable. And even then, lies about it being just the one time, which is not only biologically implausible, though not impossible, but is also absolutely going to get found out as a lie, when girlfriend inevitably speaks with the affair partner, says they would be co-parenting a kid even in his dream scenario. Oh, and then lies to his parents in a way that's going to be pretty obviously a lie when he shows up with a freaking baby. I'm baffled and enthralled by this man's mind. It's like art. The sheer audacity of thinking that his avowed child-free girlfriend with trauma around cheating would happily raise his affair baby? And that the baby's mother, who showed every inclination of wanting the child, would just not be around or something? I desperately want to hear him explain himself. It would be fascinating. Not only the ex-boyfriend, I would love to hear his idiotic friend's reasonings for why they told him to warm her up to the idea and bringing it up first as a hypothetical question. Good on the one guy for finally realizing how stupid all of them were, but I would love to know what was going through their minds. Or ask them if they had been OP in this scenario, would they have acted any different than her? Would they be alright with raising their partner's affair baby? My guess is no. PSA, it's okay to quietly hold out hope that someone will change their mind about liking pineapple pizza. It is not okay to hold out hope that they will change their mind about having kids. It is one of the main things a relationship needs to be on the same page about. Opie's ex is a clown on so many levels. My ex held out hope I'd change my mind. This was after I had my tubes tied. Same. I was so upfront and clear about wanting no kids and a lot of traveling. What do you know? My ex actually wanted to stay in one spot and raise kids, never really going anywhere, because life was for the children. Man, don't waste my time. Surprise. Mine eventually let slip that he wanted the option to have kids, and I broke up with him. Lo and behold, several months later when I was with someone else, he was suddenly fine with not having kids and wanted to get back together. My husband and son both lied to me. Original post. I'm 34 female, husband is 36 male, we've been married for 12 years. A few weeks ago, my husband said that he has seen another woman handle situations that he didn't think I would be able to. I tried to talk to him about why it bothered me, and he just told me it was a passing comment, and I shouldn't take it so seriously. That he had meant to simply compliment her by saying she was handling so much on her own, and he was impressed by it. I told him it was completely unnecessary and hurtful to compare her to me to compliment her. He told me I was being unreasonable and jealous, and that he didn't mean anything by it. After that, he didn't say anything else about it, so I dropped it. Then yesterday when I came home from work, I saw a pair of women's Fendi sunglasses on our kitchen island, kind of hidden by our fruit bowl. I picked them up and asked my husband whose they were. He looked confused and was like, "Aren't they yours?" And I said no. Then our oldest son, 11, is sitting at the kitchen table and goes, "Oh, those are my friend Allison's. I took them home on accident." I was immediately suspicious. These are very expensive sunglasses. And I know Allison's mother, and she doesn't seem like the type to let her child bring something worth that much money into school. My son kept insisting they were hers, and he had just taken them home accidentally on the bus, and he'd return them to her tomorrow. But I said no, and that I'd return them to her mother in person so I could make sure they got to them safely. When I spoke to Allison's mother, she confirmed that they weren't Allison's, and that neither she nor her daughter owned sunglasses like that. When I told my son and my husband this, they both feigned ignorance. My son went from saying he could have sworn they were Allison's to, well, maybe not maybe. I don't know whose they are. And then my husband said that he does remember taking the sunglasses out of our son's backpack when he was getting out his lunch stuff. Then my younger son, 9, just came home and recognized the sunglasses. They are Noelle's, the woman my husband helps out sometimes. The same one who he told me to not be upset that he compared me to her. I'm going to confront him when he gets home. I don't know what to say to him. I feel as though I'm going to immediately burst into tears. Can someone please give me advice on what to say? And also just general advice, please? I never thought I would be in this situation. Now for the top advice before reading the update. My main concern is why your son helped him lie. And if you know he helped her, why he has to be secretive? Seems too many red flags in your relationship. The son knew his mother would be upset to have that Noelle woman in her home. He also may have seen his father together with that woman in a situation. A, either his father told him to hush up, or B, he knew his mother would be very upset about. None of it is good or positive, really. By the way, other women leave things in their lovers' houses, just so the wife can find them and fight with or leave their husbands. This is how I found out my husband was cheating. His mistress left her comb on the floor of my car. I know the truth. You have one chance to tell me your side. Then you get to choose marriage counselor or divorce lawyer. Lie to me again and it will just be divorce lawyer. Also, talk to your son about lying. I think this is the more nuanced response. Considering husband is lying, gaslighting, and bringing the kids into the lie, it's better to tackle this head on and get honest answers. Hope he already knows what's up. She just needs him to admit it. Record a conversation though, Opie. You'll need that for the divorce attorney. Don't confront. Don't say another word to your husband and your older son. Call a lawyer immediately and hire a PI. Get your ducks in a row for a divorce. He has already moved on to Noel and your son is backing him up. Don't bother to do anything other than leave and show your independence without him. Is it painful? Don't give him the pleasure of seeing you upset. Do this now and play the long game since he is cheating. If the house is in both names or her name, she should not leave. She needs to establish that she is the primary parent, that leaving the house will be a hardship on the kids. Therefore, she should get the house into divorce. She should pack his bags and put them in the driveway, then change the locks. So when he gets home from work, he'll know he's not welcome. Leave your divorce lawyer's info with his stuff. Then, have a serious talk with your older son about the two very wrong things his dad is doing and that he is helping him do by lying to her. Cheating is never something to be supportive or proud of because it is despicable and will break not only your partner's or spouse's heart, but will destroy the whole family unit because all trust is gone. Now for the update. So I found a pair of sunglasses on my kitchen table. My oldest son immediately claimed they were his friends, even though it was pretty obvious they were an adult woman's. Even after the story began to fall apart, him and his father continued to lie. My youngest son ended up identifying the sunglasses. When he got home, my husband admitted they were Noelle's. She has been over there while I was at work. My husband claims he has not realized they were hers. He thought they were mine, which is why he didn't move them. My older son realized whose they were immediately, which is why he lied about them. He knew I was about to find it all out and was trying to cover. My younger son recognized them because apparently they have gone with Noelle on numerous places on my husband's days off while I was at work. I don't know what he told my older son, but he told my youngest son not to tell me about Noelle and her son hanging out with them because I would feel bad about being left out because I was at work. I returned the glasses to Noelle, who seemed horrified. She was under the assumption I knew about their hangouts. I asked her, why did you think I would be okay with this? And she looked really confused and told me, why would I care if we were separated anyway? I told her we absolutely were not separated. We were very much still together. Apparently, my husband told her we had not been together except for cohabitating and co-parenting for months now. I confronted my husband with this information, and he didn't deny it. He apologized, but said he had developed feelings for Noelle, but didn't want to risk our marriage until he knew if they were true feelings or just attraction. He left the house, but Noelle wants nothing to do with him because now she knows the truth. He lied to her as well, and she's furious. I'm speaking to a lawyer today, and I'm not going to speak to him again except through lawyers, since I don't have anything else to say to him. I really feel for you, as your world has been turned upside down. I can imagine you'd have so many questions to ask him and your sons. I've been wanting to use this as an opportunity to teach your boys what not to do in a relationship for when they're older. I hope you can eventually find peace and forgiveness so that you can move forward. Perhaps this will be a blessing in disguise, and you meet a true gentleman that is worth of your love. Thank you for your beautiful and optimistic response. I'm going to try to do that. Thank you very much. Wow, he's awful. You're doing the right thing. To ask your kids to lie to you is the lowest of the low. At least you can now go to bed at night in peace knowing that you've taken out the trash. I'm torn. As a dad, it is the lowest to ask your kids to lie to hide your affair from the kid's mom. Or is it the lowest to have your kids hang out with you and your affair partner? Absolutely both. Imagine putting children in that position. We bring them up to tell the truth and have respect, but then he encourages them to lie and hide things from their mother. Scum. Listen, as an adult who found themselves having to cover for their father's transgressions at a young age, please put the blame where it should be. A child of 11 will do anything in their power to keep the peace and keep their parents together. It makes them feel like they have some power, which makes them feel safe. Please do not further parentify your son, as your husband has already done, by making him a player in this situation. This is not the time for conversations about lying and right and wrong. That can come later. My suggestions is speak to your sons and apologize that they had to be involved at all, and tell them that you and your husband love them no matter what. Sorry you and your children have to deal with this. This is really well put. You can tell a lot of the other commenters here came from good families and don't understand the stress a kid can feel to keep their parents from fighting. Next story. My fiancé is planning on leaving me to be in an open relationship with his coworker. I, 24 female, had been with my fiancé, 27 male, for 4 years, and he proposed to me on my birthday last year. I always thought our relationship was great and that we were unstoppable, but I guess that I was wrong. Usually, he has always let me use his phone, for games, or because my phone would screw up. Recently, he was being very distant, and even getting upset if I asked for his phone. We're always open about our phones, and if the other would like to be sure if we haven't been disloyal, we were both okay with it. I shrugged it off as maybe he's planning something for my birthday, since it's coming up. Then a couple days ago, he asked me if we could try opening up the relationship. This took me by surprise, because he's never been the type to get physical or emotional with anyone else but me. I tell him I'm uncomfortable with the thought of that, and he kept explaining how it could build us up emotionally, to see other people's perspectives and how we can improve our love. I continued telling him no, and saying that it doesn't feel right. I never wanted to be with anyone else but him. He has been trying to convince me for the past day, but I didn't budge. He ended up saying whatever, and going on a walk for a couple hours. When he left, I cried my eyes out because it made me think he wasn't being loyal. Unluckily for him, he had left his phone on the counter in the kitchen, so I took it upon myself to check. And to my horror, I saw my worst nightmare. He was messaging a coworker we'll call Kim for a couple weeks. Messages saying I love you and let's plan a little date together. I cried and continued reading. Then I saw that they were trying to plan a way to leave me or get an open relationship started. Seeing as though the open relationship plan failed, they started saying that he should leave me and they can be in an open relationship. I'm so hurt and distraught by this. I thought he would be with me through thick and thin. Not to mention, I have a 6-year-old daughter that has absolutely loved him and thought of him as her dad. I'm crushed and betrayed for both me and my daughter. She was going to be our flower girl and have the prettiest dress, and now I have to tell her everything. My worst nightmare is coming to fruition, and I can't stop crying. I'm trying to be strong for her, but it's so hard. As I type this, I'm watching my daughter play with her dolls while watching TV, and my fiancé is upstairs playing a game. For now, I'm thinking of my next steps and staying strong for my girl. Now for the top advice before the mini update. What a prick! He wanted to open it up so he could cheat on you without it being cheating. All this drivel about learning how to be a better couple. Sorry you and your daughter are going through this. It sounds cliche, but it really is better you found this out now before getting married. Not good either way, but he is a loser. Opie, you don't need a man like your fiancé. It's over when your partner wants an open relationship. Leave him. Ex-fiancé, I would hope. Oh my god, what a douche canoe. Hey, Opie, I'm cheating on you already. Can we open the relationship so I can pretend I'm not a cheating douche canoe? What a piece of turd. Complete piece of turd. I feel so horrible for Opie. This must be incredibly difficult for her. But also, at least they weren't married yet. If the POS kept this to himself longer, he would have essentially trapped her. Definitely tell your family, his family, and your friends about what's happening. It's easier to be strong when you lean on a support group. Yes, cheaters thrive in the dark. Expose him for the POS that he is. I sent my now ex-husband's dating profile to his sister. Edit. I'm taking everyone's advice, and I do plan on leaving. I'm going to come up with a plan to put all of his stuff out whilst working one day and completely cut him out. Also, a couple questions I've seen that I should clarify on. With his messages, he had asked me a couple days ago to open the relationship, and I told him no. I should have clarified that for the past day he had been non-stop pestering me over opening the relationship. My fault. At the time of writing, I was so distraught. After asking me the first time, he told Kim what my answer was. and Kim had said, "You should just leave at this point, etc., etc." But he thought it was best to keep trying to convince me. Like I said, that was my bad. It was mostly Kim saying that he should leave me. Also, some people may be confused at him leaving his phone while he left. We live in a wide open rural area, and usually when he needs to blow off steam, he goes through the backyard and to the woods that's a little down the yard. I never had a need to check his phone, but I trusted him at the time. He usually left to blow off steam or something. Again, I'm so sorry for any confusion during my distraught time of writing this. And thank you again. Last story. My 39 male ex-wife, 37 female wants to reconcile our marriage. I, 39 male, have been divorced from my ex-wife for 7 years now. We were together for 8 before that and married for 4 years. We have 2 children together ages 14 and 12. We co-parent and each get our own week with the children. I love my wife deeply, but the sad truth is she couldn't stay away from the male attention. She is a very beautiful woman, has been her whole life. Men would always look when they walked by, and I used to think how lucky I was she was mine. Until I found out she was entertaining these men as well. I had found texts in her phone multiple times that I had let go of because it was over the phone. Then I'd find out she allowed them to take her on dates or out to bars secretly after her work shift ended. She promised it was never intimate, and I never had any proof it was. But who knows? She said she just liked the compliments and the idea of how many guys like to pay attention to her, that it gave her some weird high. That wasn't my cup of tea though, so I ended the marriage. She's spent the last years in therapy, in which she's been diagnosed with histrionic personality disorder and OCD. She claims she's doing really well. And at our last drop-off with the kids, she told me she had told her therapist she'd like to reconcile her marriage a year ago, and she hasn't been on any dates or tried to be flirtatious. She said her goal was to fix us, that she wanted to be a family again if I was willing to try. Knowing she has a diagnosis for why she wants this attention so badly, and are actively getting help to contain these behaviors, opens my mind up greatly to the possibility of a happy marriage. But I am also not fully sure I can trust her. I want nothing more than my family back, but I don't want a repeat of the first time. Advice? You were divorced for 7 years. Assuming she's over her emotional issues, there is still the issue of neither of you being the same person as you were 7 years ago. How did she spend her 7 years? I assume it can be relevant, as you may hold resentments towards her. Never mind how she spent it. How did Opie? I can't imagine after 7 years of divorce wanting to remarry the person, as I'd assume that I'd be a completely different person. I do believe that people can change, and 7 years is a long time. So maybe Opie's wife has made some big changes / progress. So in this situation, it seems to me like starting completely fresh and dating again would be a better option than jumping straight back into marriage. They'll basically need to get to know each other again in my eyes. I almost believe she wants back because she's getting older. Hugh divorced when she was in her physical prime. My guess is she has been getting significantly less attention as she has aged and wants to go back to the man who loves her for her. I was thinking this too. She wants Opie back for the love and security it offers her. Her looks are fading, and she knows it. This thought crossed my mind as well. Great that she's been working on herself, but at 37, the dating thing may be dwindling. I'd be concerned about her motivations. And it would take a lot to prove to me she's faithful, after literally dating guys behind Opie's back. I also have a hard time believing it wasn't physical. Maybe it wasn't, but she was already so far past the boundary that there's no reason to believe her.